The thing about failure is that it happens, but it can be a blessing in disguise. As for Hola Prime, one of the biggest mistakes earlier, we thought we could just focus on the trading side of things, but quickly we realized that traders needed more. They needed trust. Sure, we made transparency our top priority. I would say, don't be afraid of failure. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it to build something better.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Founders Playbook podcast. Today, we have a very special episode with you because we're going to be delving into the topic of the top mistakes or pitfalls that help shape Hola Prime's journey. Again, I'm joined by our founder and CEO, Mr. Somesh Kapuria. Somesh, it's always a pleasure having you on. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you, Sam.
So Somesh, failure is obviously, part of the journey for every entrepreneur, every company at some point. And I'm sure, you've experienced failure in your personal life. And I'm sure also at some point, in Hola Prime as well, there's been some, element of failure as well. But what's your overall take on failure?
Failure is such a big part of the journey. Regarding Hola Prime, we haven't had any major failures, but everyone on our team has experienced failure as a trader at some point. But that's completely normal and fine. The thing about failure is that it happens, but it can be a blessing in disguise. At the time, you might not see it that way, but when you make it through the darker times and you look back, you will realize that it was the failure that ultimately helped you succeed. It's important, therefore, to learn from mistakes and ensure that it doesn't happen again. As for Hola Prime, one of the biggest mistakes early on was underestimating the importance of transparency. We thought we could just focus on the trading side of things, but quickly we realized that traders needed more. They needed trust.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But could you also elaborate on how you pivoted from, I guess, that mistake early on to where you are now with Hola Prime?
Sure, we made transparency our top priority. We introduced the price transparency report, we streamlined our payout process, and we made sure our trading rules were crystal clear. All of these things were done to benefit our funded traders and not ourselves. Because ultimately, our traders are part of our firm, and that's the only way this business model can succeed. If our traders are not happy with us and they decide to trade elsewhere, right? So creating transparency, therefore, is essential to build that trust and loyalty, where we as a firm value you as a trader and vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that makes a lot of sense as well. I'd like to know, though, what's another mistake that ended up being, I guess, a turning point for Hola Prime?
Well, I think another big one was not listening to our traders enough in the beginning. We had this vision of what we thought they wanted, but we realized we needed to hear directly from them. So, for example, our focus is on finding the best traders worldwide and having them trade for us. However, we failed to recognize at first that there are many traders who have the potential to become world-class, but needed that extra guidance and support. So we decided to introduce things such as risk alerts and personalized video lessons along with the Prime Academy. All of this to help those traders that are on the right path but just need a little more time, knowledge, and experience to get them to their full potential. And with that, they can become funded Hola Prime traders in the future.
No, I absolutely agree. And that's such a, I guess, great example of turning, what some people would call a mistake into, I guess, an opportunity, right? It's clear that Hola Prime is all about learning and growing. But before we wrap up, I guess, what's one piece of advice you'd like to give to someone who's facing failure right now?
I would say, don't be afraid of failure. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it to build something better. Every mistake is a stepping stone to success. I know that's easier said than done, but in the world of trading, failure is part of the game. Giving up is the only way to guarantee permanent failure.
I really like that, and absolutely well said, very well said. Somesh, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been an honor. Guys, that wraps it up for this episode. So you've had, a lot of good information there about failure, and I hope a lot of you took that on board. Don't be afraid of it. It happens, and it's part of the game. It's part of the deal. It's part of life. But as long as you learn from it, as long as you, acknowledge those failures and try, do better next time, that's the only real way to grow. So once again, thank you to Somesh for coming on. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back with a lot more really good content. So hit that like button, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you again very soon. Take care.